how do the Orishas relate to Ìwà Pẹ? So each and every Orisha, has their domain of authority. They operate on a spectrum, as I talk about all the time. In the middle is the balanced aspect of their character, but they can operate on either extreme. It's not just that one aspect that a lot of people like to focus on. They love to focus on the good aspect and not really look at that sliding scale, right? So there are every Orisha has like their, mythological narratives, several of them, not even just one, several mythological narratives that will recount situations that show character flaws. And in that, it necessitated that they course correct. And through that course correction, they're teaching you different lessons about who they are and how you should operate, especially if that's your head Orisha. It gives you a whole lot of information, okay, about different lessons. And whenever they do go through that, you always notice that they will transition. Sometimes they, actually die, right? They might fall on the sword and die, or they might just, go into the ground or something like that. Or they might transition into another form, like, Oshun transition into, this beautiful river or what have you. But there are aspects of an Orisha's character that you need to pay attention to, especially if it's your head Orisha, that can teach you a lot about yourself and how to operate within balanced character. So using that example of Oshun, a lot of people love to focus on just, the love and all of the good things that she brings, the money, the prosperity, or what have you. Well, yes, you're operating from a space of practical prosperity. So you have the money, you have the abundance of finances that you want, but you're practical with them. You are investing, you are enjoying. Not to say you can't enjoy, because Oshun is about pleasure, but not, overindulgence, because that's too far on one end. You just overindulgence, you're just having fun. You're not saving anything up. You're not considering your future or anything like that. And even so, sometimes you maybe overdoing it. You're spending more than what you have. Another part of that would be on the opposite end, where you're too frugal. You're what they call a spendthrift or something like that, where you're not utilizing any of your money to enjoy yourself or even to allow other people to enjoy your money. You just are hoarding money. You might have millions of dollars in the bank and not ever enjoy life, or your family may not be able to enjoy any of the finer things in life, even though you have that at your disposal, right? And so the goal is to be somewhere in the middle. That's just the reality of it. Right? Even with her notion of love, you want a balanced love connection with whomever, your family, romantic connections, etc. Jealousy is the extreme end of her love. And then two, you can also just overlove somebody to the point where you suffocate them. Just always there. You never let them go. You never let them do anything because you're afraid of losing them. You just want to hold on so tight to them. And, every Orisha has their narrative in that regard. I talked about Ogun. Ogun being, in balance. We want to be diplomatic. All right. The opposite end of that is just extreme aggression, always wanting to fight and things like that. And on the other side of that is, apathy, not wanting to do anything, letting people just, take advantage of you, hit you, abuse you, and you just don't do anything, right? You turn the other cheek all the time, as the saying goes. So you want to be careful with all of that. And that's for every Orisha. So if you know your head Orisha, go and do some of those studies and understand every aspect of that Orisha so that you understand where to fall in balance when it comes to that. All right. So, the notion that those stories gives us the understanding of when they mess up, what they do to course correct. And that's all about, releasing the old ways, okay? Renewing yourself and then elevating to the next level, transitioning into the next phase of you. It's not about condemnation, right? Because they're showing you those narratives, those mythological stories show you, that you are human, that you are going to have challenges and you are going to make mistakes. You don't want to try to be too perfect to the point where you get self-righteous, or you so perfect that you beat yourself up every time you make one small mistake, because that's going to happen.